consulting services, where we looked at how you're going to be, how you can prepare for an interview, and we cover and career goal setting as well as personal goal setting. It was a very nice and successful session. So today we're going to cover LinkedIn optimization and job search. A little background on myself. I am a recruitment specialist. I have a background in human resource, meaning I have studied for human resource management, and I'm a certified professional. So I come to you with years of experience on how to position yourself as a job seeker so that you get noticed by a recruiter or to get noticed by organizations, and also to successfully bag any opportunity that you see that is that you would like to be part of. So I'm just going to also share a bit of my video. I hope you can see me. Hello, everyone. So before we get started, perhaps Bida, you could just, hello?
Yes, how are you?
How are you?
I'm okay. Nice meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you as well. So for now, we're just going to mute ourselves so that we can begin the discussion. Before we do, I was hoping that Bida, you could just sequence the poll. We have a poll, so we're just going to answer that poll that has been brought up. It should take us around 1 minute. So just 1 minute. We'll just take 1 minute for that short poll, then we can continue. Great. From the results, I'm seeing majority of you know LinkedIn. That's about 82% of you, but out of the ones that I read in the meeting from the poll, 5 people, which is 18%, do not know LinkedIn. And again, 9 people do not have a LinkedIn account as much as they do know what LinkedIn is. So I'm just going to start by giving a description from the internet on what LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is an American business and employment-oriented online service that operates via websites and mobile apps. It was launched in 2003. So ideally, I just paraphrase it to be LinkedIn is a professional networking platform where you can get to develop your career, you can share your CVs, apply for jobs, and on the employer side, they can get to post jobs and get candidates to apply or get candidates from LinkedIn. And so basically, it's a professional networking platform. If you do not know that, you can go and search it later. But LinkedIn is a professional networking platform, which will really help you, especially as a job seeker. So we're just going to start us off after the poll. Thank you for that, Bida. What you're going to cover in this particular session is I'm going to help you in understanding how you're going to start setting up your LinkedIn profile. Many of you already have a LinkedIn profile, as I can see from the poll, but you might know the mechanics of how you're supposed to go through it so that you can position yourself for success when it comes to professionally branding yourself or professionally bringing yourself as a professional, astute professional when it comes to your career. So what you're going to
hear
do,
you are.
Sorry? At the moment, we're just going to, can you hear me? I'm seeing someone is saying they cannot hear me. So if you need to say something, just raise your hand, a reaction.
Yes, we are getting.
Can you hear me? Just confirm by raising your hand if you can hear me. Okay, so I'm going to, okay, I'm seeing one person is saying they can hear me. Okay, a lot of, okay. So just confirm by giving me a reaction, a thumbs
You are
up.
muted.
Yes, I'd just like you to give a reaction, a thumbs up, raise your hand, a reaction to see that you can hear me before we continue. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people are saying they can hear me. So let me just check the WhatsApp as I monitor the reactions. Okay, a lot of people can hear me. So what you're going to cover in this particular section is helping you to set up your LinkedIn profile, an impressionable LinkedIn profile. We're going to understand the importance of having a LinkedIn profile from a recruiter's point of view. My perspective as a recruiter, I'm going to give you that particular wisdom or that knowledge. We're also going to learn how to set up an impressionable LinkedIn profile, meaning when someone looks at your LinkedIn, they feel like this is a good profile. You've really demonstrated or displayed yourself well when it comes to that. Also, we're going to look into how you're going to write an elevator pitch and what an elevator pitch is. We're also going to see how you will establish professional network connections. If you remember, we say LinkedIn is a professional networking platform. So it needs for you to network, connect with people. So how are you going to establish those networking connections? We're also going to approach how you're going to communicate with recruiters as well as other job seekers, as well as people maybe you have interacted with professionally in the past or that you will later come to interact with. We're also going to look how to build your professional brand. The whole point of you putting yourself out there, displaying your expertise, displaying your skills, is that you get to develop your professional brand. We're also going to look at leveraging on recommendations and what recommendations are on LinkedIn. And you're also going to look at tips and tricks that you can use to make sure that you get that competitive edge that sets you apart from everyone else in the job market. That is the first part of the training. The second part is going to be how you're going to be using LinkedIn for job searching. Again, remember LinkedIn is a professional networking platform that connects job seekers to employers. So you're going to have to understand that it's purely also for matching you to your connections. So how are you going to approach and communicate recruiters? How will you build your professional brand again so that you're visible, so that you have that edge that everyone is looking for you, especially for employers who are looking for talent like yourself. We're also going to see how you will leverage recommendations, especially when it comes to job searching, and what it means for you to have recommendations, especially when you're looking to get a particular role. We're also going to see how you will apply for jobs on LinkedIn, how you're going to set up job alerts, just to make sure that LinkedIn is working for you and in your advantage. Anyone else with a question? I feel like someone was trying to talk. Maybe you can just, I'm just going to check the chat. My colleague Silas is in call, so if I'm not able to address anything, he's going to be the one who can look at them. So Silas, please help me with that. The other thing that you're going to notice is going to be, so we're going to start off the lesson with why. Okay, Jinana, I see you have raised a hand.
Yes, thank you so much. My concern is
Mhm.
yesterday I didn't have two things. Like one, I didn't have the registration book where I could register my name, and two, some of the colleagues required if there could be some handout to be sent to the group, and up to now I've not seen, and I don't know how it is going to be. And again, at the same time, I wanted to raise a concern yesterday, but I don't know if you can grant me some little time, if I can have some question based on the lesson learned yesterday.
That's my colleague Silas, who was a training facilitator, is in call, and we're going to have a questions and answers session. Perhaps you can note it down somewhere so that you do not forget. And then when it's time for the question and answers forum, please go ahead and raise your hand so that you can be able to ask questions you had from yesterday and also any that you might have today. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I can see from yesterday you were in the training, so that's really good to hear. Thank you so much. Okay, so again, I'm going to start with what is the importance of having a LinkedIn profile? As I mentioned, my background is in recruitment, which is in the human resource background, people management and talent management. Having a LinkedIn profile is really going to build your trust and credibility. The first step when a recruiter is hiring for a role, when they get your application, they're going to go to their LinkedIn and their LinkedIn account or the company's LinkedIn account, and they're going to search for your name. When they search for your name and they find you and they find that you've been active, you're even posting things that are relevant to the industry, showing your expertise, it really sets you apart because they get to know another side of you, for example, that you have demonstrated in the past. For example, you've been in projects, you've been in trainings that are showing you're really interested in growing yourself. So it gets to build that trust and credibility that you're already online, you have a presence, you're interacting with other professionals, and you're also bringing out that side of you, meaning that you're someone who really can, you're someone who is, how can I say, you're someone who is proactive. So having a LinkedIn account shows a proactive side, which is really good, and it builds on the trust and credibility that this person is actually real, because you have to understand before they get to the point of doing an actual background check on you, they need to see where else they can get information on you. So having a LinkedIn profile is going to help with that and making sure that the recruiter also notices you. Another thing is that for a recruiter, when you're looking for candidates to fill a role, when you're looking for talents to fill a role, you're going to use LinkedIn for research. What this means ideally is before I post a job on LinkedIn, I'm going to search for everyone with that particular job title. So let's say I'm looking for an account assistant. I'm going to look for all the account assistants. I'm going to see what organizations or what industry, for the industry that I'm in, what do they usually do? How do they put their skills? What skills should they have aside from the ones that I would know, such as a CPA certification, SCCA certification? What else those particular candidates are interested in as well? And if possible, I'm also going to try and search for a few and see if I can get recommendations from them or referrals where I ask them, do you have anyone who would be interested, or would you be interested in this role? So I also use it for research. So as a recruiter, it's a very vital tool. And so as a job seeker, again, you want to position yourself for success. So it's really important that you put yourself in that particular light when you're on LinkedIn, that you are someone who is competent, you're someone who can be trusted, you're someone who is already online, and you've highlighted your skills. It makes it really easy for us, and therefore it makes it easier for you as well to get opportunities that would suit your skill set. It is also social proof for your experience and skill, which is really good, because when you post on the online platform that this is what you can do, this is where you've worked before, it's going to be really easy for someone to say yes, this person is not afraid.
انت جداي
بس هم يهو اللي عاملين فيهم الكريب بتاعت الحله معاهم ناس كده.
So I'm going to mute you so that we don't interrupt the session. I hope it's nothing to do with the session. Vida, maybe you can confirm for me if everything is okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, you carry on.
Okay, thank you. So aside from that, you have already built the credibility that you've put your expertise, your skills, your brand online. You want people to find you because you're good at this. This is your skill set. I have done my research. I've located you. And now I have built that sort of rapport. And I'm the one who's coming to you and telling you, hey, I've seen your profile and I think you can match this role. Let's connect. Yeah. So that's also a really good thing when it comes to LinkedIn. The other thing you as a job seeker or you as a professional will find is really helpful or really important when it comes to building your LinkedIn profile is that one, you're going to use this opportunity to grow your professional network. This could be through groups or connections. When I say connections, I mean that on LinkedIn, once you create an account, you can request for someone to be a connection. So a connection would mean they're going to be part of your network. You're going to see them on your timeline. They are going to see you on their timeline, and you get to interact and learn from each other. So having that connection with people professionally that you know or might not know is really important. You also get the chance to join LinkedIn groups that will share opportunities that you might be interested in. This could be volunteer-based, work-based, it could be project-based. Everything that you might want to be part of, you will get on LinkedIn by growing your professional network. You have to understand this is something that is going to be really in your advantage, especially when you're an active job seeker. And even sometimes when you're not actively job seeking, someone can just come to you and say, hey, I see you've been posting this and this, and our organization is actually looking to hire for this role, or is looking for someone who could do this either on freelance basis. Is it something you could consider? I could connect you with our HR or our talent team. So this is really good because you didn't do anything. All you have done is grow your professional network, and it's now working for you. The other thing as a professional is that you're going to have you're going to have the opportunity to follow potential companies and be updated on the news and the jobs. So when you follow a company, you're going to notice that even if jobs appear for that company, it's going to come to your jobs board, which is really easy because when you follow a company, it means you're interested in it. Companies that you could follow could be Google, Amazon, basically the FANG group, that's Facebook, Amazon, Google, and Netflix. I've seen Yasmin, you've raised a hand. I hope it's not because you can't hear me.
We do hear you, Volcano. I can hear you well.
You can hear me. Thank you so much. Okay. Yes, Yasmin?
I'm saying good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Madam, can you please try to slow down questions to explain the points very fast, so some of us are not picking it clear.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for that feedback. I'm going to try to go a bit slower. Thank you. Okay, again, I'm going to mute you. So I hope that just to help the session go a bit smoother. I'm going to start with the importance of why you need to have a LinkedIn profile as a professional. So this doesn't necessarily mean you have to be actively job searching for you to have a LinkedIn profile. It can be you are happy in your job, or you are happy being self-employed, but having a LinkedIn profile really positions you well for your business, for your career, for your brand. So what this looks like is once you have a LinkedIn profile, you're going to be able to grow your professional network through LinkedIn by joining groups and having connections that are going to help your career. A connection is an account online that you have asked or you now have access to them, like you can message them directly, they can message you directly. We also have the LinkedIn groups where you can see what people are discussing. The groups could be based on your location, based on your interest, based on your industry, or the school that you're in. So it's important not just for people who are already in the job market, but also for students to be part of LinkedIn. So if you're a student here and you're wondering if this has to wait until you can get a job, that's not true. You can start building your LinkedIn profile now. Having that account is really going to help you in growing your professional network. You're going to find this is really, really helpful. The other thing that you can get, or the other important advantage that you will see, is that you can be able to follow potential companies. This means you'll be updated on their news and jobs. Why is it important that you follow potential companies? Again, this is a professional network. So being a professional network, professional platform, networking platform, when you are actively job searching and let's say you get called for an interview, you will want to understand before you go for that interview what this particular company does. So if you had followed it, that basically means when you're doing your interview preparation, you're not going to struggle on getting news on this company, on being up to date to what they need, what they're working on. So this means that you have already done your research even before you start looking for a job with that particular company. So when a job lands on your lap from that particular company, when you go to the interview, it's going to be a smoother process because you already know the news on that particular company. The third advantage is going to be with a LinkedIn account, you're going to also get access to a separate job board section. So every other career development platform has a job board section. A job board section means there's a place where employers post the jobs or recruiters post a job or an opportunity, and you will be able to see it, read the job description, and see if this is something you would want, and then go ahead and apply for it. And you're going to find it has so many openings. So you will not just see for one company, you will see for companies across the world, across the globe. And you get to choose if you want to work there, if you are eligible for working there. And basically, it's a world of opportunities. So again, LinkedIn offers a separate job section, which you will use to your advantage. You can also share with your networks. The other advantage is that you're going to get an opportunity to research organizations and people, especially as part of your interview preparation. Why is it important to do research when you're going for an interview? You want to know who you're going to meet. It's also going to be to your advantage if you already have the face in mind of who you're going to meet. It's also going to be to your advantage if you know what they're interested in. You can use that to build a rapport with them. A rapport means building that connection and trust with them. So when you get to that particular meeting, maybe these people are, and you've noticed the culture from the way you've done your research, is that they dress down. So if you remember part of the interview preparation, we said, you do not want to overdress. You want to look like someone who can blend in with that organization. So if you had done your research earlier, you will realize dressing down or dressing professionally is going to be to your advantage. So once you've done your interview preparation by researching, you're going to understand who is going to be in the meeting. You will see everyone in the HR department, everyone who is a recruiter, who posted that job, what are they saying about this job. You can also tell a lot about the organization from their LinkedIn profile or their LinkedIn account. You can be able to see their website. You can be able to see a lot of things basically on them, and it helps you as part of your interview preparation. So it's like a shortcut to making sure you are prepared for your interview. The other thing is that it can help you tap into industry news. So when you're putting in your researches, you're going to, yes? Someone has
Yeah,
raised
I
their
think,
hand.
yeah, yes.
Continue.
Yeah, I'm not saying something where you're talking. On my
Uh-huh.
screen, you're still saying on why should I have a LinkedIn profile? I was hearing you talking of importance, but in my screen it's not showing. So I don't know if it is my only problem or it is a general issue.
So why should you have a LinkedIn profile as a professional? I'm answering that question. These are the points that you see on the screen. I'm reading through them as I explain. Yeah? Have I answered your question?
Yeah, I think to his point, to his question is only the language. But why should I have a LinkedIn profile means the importance of LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
So it is clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the questions. Okay, so we're going to continue. The other thing, aside from the researching organizations and the people that you're going to meet, because they're also going to research you. So it's important you also have a hand in leveling the playing field by also being able to access them and using that access to prepare for your interview. The other thing you'll be able, please just note down your questions. We're going to have a short break where I can take on your questions. Yeka Joel, please go ahead and just note down your question. I'm going to be able to ask you so we can address it just for to make the training a bit more smoother. Thank you. When you're starting out on creating your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn is going to ask you, what are your interests? What industries do you want to follow? what companies do you want to follow? Even if you have already created one and you have not set them up, it has constant reminders for you to do that. So you can tap into industry news. For example, if you are interested in the oil and gas industry, if you're interested in renewable energy, if you're interested in farming, if you're interested in the climate, you can be able to put that these are your interests, these industries are the one you're following, and you'll be able to know the industry news, which will really give you an upper hand because you're going to be updated. As a professional, again, having a LinkedIn account, it's going to help you build your brand. So your brand is what the perception that people have on you professionally, on what you stand for, and what your competencies are. So what are your strengths? What do you stand for? That is your brand. What is the perception of people on that? When you build your brand on LinkedIn, it gives you an edge compared to the other people in the job market. You're going to come out as trustable and credible. The other thing is that you can help rank your name on Google. Again, if you remember, when you are doing, the other thing that you're going to notice when it comes to research, when a recruiter is searching for your name, they normally go to any browser. One of these browsers can be Chrome, can be Mozilla, it can be any browser that they have access to. They're just going to type in your name. For example, if it is Paula Rogito, they'll search it and they'll be able to see what you have been talking about, what you are standing for, what you're about. And this gives you, again, the credible touch that a recruiter is looking for in a candidate. So to sum it up, from a recruiter's point of view, LinkedIn builds your trust and credibility. It makes you trustable. It makes you look like someone who is not hiding anything. You're someone who would also put the business in a good light. They will use it for research to see what you can do, what your skill set is, what your qualifications are, and your background. It's also a social proof for your experience and skill because it is a professional networking platform. You will interact with other professionals. You will react to their posts. You will put up posts as well. And this shows what you stand for and who you are. As a professional, you will grow your professional network through groups and connections. You'll also follow potential companies so you're updated on the news and jobs and job openings that they have. You will also get access to a separate job board, which will help you in applying. And also, you're going to have access to many job openings, not just from one company or from one geographical region. You'll also use this account to search for organizations and people, especially when you're applying for interviews or when you're interested in that organization. It will help you to tap into industry news, meaning you will not work so hard to be updated in what you want to know in the industries that you are interested in. You can also build your brand by making sure that your key competencies and how you want to be portrayed in the professional world is easily seen. And then you're also going to get a good ranking on your name on Google, which is one of the biggest search engines. This is really important because recruiters can get you easily and are able to see that you're actually a real person with experiences and skill set that you've already put out there. Okay, so we're going to have a poll. Bida, kindly help me in queuing that poll. So go ahead and answer that poll. We're going to have 2 minutes to answer that poll. After which I'll have another 2 minutes to just take in your questions. So go ahead and answer that poll. We have 2 minutes. So the questions, as you can see on that poll, is from the session, what have you understood to be the importance of having a LinkedIn profile when you are job searching, and why, how do recruiters use LinkedIn? Go ahead and finish the poll. We have a few extra seconds, then you can close the poll. Great. From your answers, I can see that majority of you have understood from the session. Yes, it is important to have a LinkedIn profile, especially when you are job searching, because recruiters will see your skills and they can do a background check on you using LinkedIn. It also helps improve your personal brand. So all the above are correct, whether you choose A or B or C. The correct answer was C, so that's good. I see most of you have understood. Also, how do recruiters use LinkedIn? They can reach out when they have opportunities. Yes, that is correct. Seeing your photos is not primarily the reason they use LinkedIn. If anything, you don't even need to post any of your photos aside from your profile so that they can see who you are, but that is not a primary reason why they use LinkedIn. I see we had a few questions. Anyone with a question regards to the first part of the session that we did? You can raise your hand and we'll have a minute to tackle that one. If you have a question, go ahead.
Continue.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we've talked about a LinkedIn profile, a LinkedIn account. So how exactly do you set up a LinkedIn profile? Remember, this is an online platform, meaning you're going to log into it the way you would log into Facebook, the way you'd log into your social networks, only that this one is a professional platform. There are parts of a LinkedIn profile, and I'm going to show you or discuss with you the parts that are how you're going to set them up to make it look nice. Elikana, I believe you had said continue, so we're just going to continue. If you have a question, please note it down and I'll allow you to ask it so we can address it in a few. Again, I'm going to ask everyone to mute themselves so that we can have a more seamless session. Impressionable means you want to create an impression, meaning you want to put your best foot forward. So how do you put your best foot forward? Using your LinkedIn account or profile. Parts of a LinkedIn profile are as follows. We have the profile picture, which means a picture of you. We're going to cover the criteria that you will use to choose a profile picture. The second part is going to be a background picture, which is also part of your LinkedIn profile. We're going to look at the criteria of choosing a background picture. There's also a headline. We're going to look at what the criteria you're going to use when you're coming up with a headline. A headline is basically where you would say, for example, if you are an accounts assistant, you would say accounts assistant. So it could be picked up from your job title, or you could choose to put more words on your headline. We also have the skills. So when you're creating your LinkedIn profile or when you are editing it, you're going to see there's a place where it's asking you to add your skills. LinkedIn always reminds you to make sure that you've completed your profile. So if you have not done this, it will still create a prompt. And I believe from this training, you'll be able to make a very nice LinkedIn profile. The other part is work experience. Work experience is where it asks you, where have you worked before? Even if it is self-employment, it's important that you put this on your LinkedIn profile. Again, remember, recruiters are going to use this to evaluate if you match the requirements for a job. So it's important you put your work experience. The last part is endorsements and recommendations. Endorsement is when someone endorses you and says they have worked with you and they have seen your skills, for example, in accounting or bookkeeping or Microsoft Excel or project management or sales or customer service. Recommendations is when someone you have worked with professionally comes and writes a recommendation, and it's going to be seen on your LinkedIn, and they see how you demonstrated a few skills. And this is really important because, again, when recruiters are doing a background check, we really are thorough in making sure we also see who has recommended you, what industry are they in, what company have they recommended you in, what project have they mentioned in that recommendation. You will find they can also raise a question in the interview based on what was discussed or what is put in the endorsements and recommendations. So it's also not a small thing. It will give you a competitive edge. So we're going to watch this video.
Forget about Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. LinkedIn is where the money is. LinkedIn is the biggest business-to-business social network in the world. So if you want to be there and you want to be successful on LinkedIn, then it's important that you have a good LinkedIn profile. In order to have a good profile, we want to review 3 key factors. First thing is your profile picture. Your profile picture is very important because on the basis of your profile picture, people will want to connect with you or, offer you business proposals or maybe offer you a job. Now, if you don't have a profile picture or if it's outdated, then you really have to work on that. Now, what do you need to have a good profile picture? Well, first thing is that it has to be a close-up. Look into the camera, smile, have a neutral background, and dress appropriately, so wearing minimal jewelry or accessories.
Can anybody, is everyone having the same issue of not hearing?
I would check first, but now, no.
Okay, thank you.
Myself is clear. I'm getting the video well.
Okay. Continue.
And certainly no headwear or no sunglasses. These are things to avoid in your profile picture, like shades. This picture could work on Instagram, but it's not really suitable for LinkedIn. Okay, this one, no explanation needed, I think. No alcohol ever. Yeah, these are actually existing profile pictures that I found on LinkedIn. Okay, this one taken in a car, not looking in the camera, bad lighting, the guy with the big cigar, and this lady probably somewhere on holiday. Now, these pictures could work on Instagram, but they are not really suitable for LinkedIn because you need a professional look on LinkedIn. So how do you know that your profile picture is good? You could ask colleagues or maybe friends or family members, but there's another thing that you can do, and that's to use photofeeler.com. Now, photofeeler.com is an application. It's a free one, it's online, and what it does is that professionals like you and me, they review your picture on the basis of 3 criteria: likability, influence, and competence. Now let me give you an example. So here it is. I logged in with my existing LinkedIn profile, and you can see people rate my picture as very competent and influential, but as you can see, I'm not considered very likable. So of course, I wanted a high score on all 3 levels and be more likable. So what I did is I uploaded another picture where you see me smiling more. And as you can see, the likability has improved, but not dramatically, but my competence and influence have dropped. So I decided to stick to my original picture because to me, on LinkedIn, having an image of being competent and influential is far more important than being likable. So photofeeler.com, try it, use it, and update your picture. Now, another thing that you can do is to also update your background picture on LinkedIn, because few people do that or know that, and standard by default you have this like bluish background image which is a little bit boring. So you can update that, and it's really easy, and it really helps you to get an even more professional look on LinkedIn. Okay, so let me give you an example of a background picture. For instance, here's an example of Tara Hunt. So she's a market researcher and strategist, and she communicates that perfectly in this great background picture. So make it work for you. Second thing you want to do is to have a look at your headline. Your headline is the piece of text that comes below your name. And your headline, you have to see that as an ad, as the title of an ad. It has to, draw the people into your profile and make them want to read more about you. Now, per default, LinkedIn uses your job title there. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes that can be a little bit boring, like marketing assistant or sales manager or whatever. So there's a simple rule that you can use to enhance, to make your title better on LinkedIn, and that's just use your job function and your company name plus your most important keywords and then the zing factor. Now let me explain that. Of course, you have your job title and then your company name, but it's also very important to add the important keywords. Now, why is that? Because when people go on LinkedIn, they often try to find certain profiles. They use the search option to find certain profiles. Now, think of the keywords that people would use to find you and incorporate those in your title. For instance, if you are a marketing manager or a marketing professional and you have experience with SEO or with email marketing, then it's important to use those words SEO and email marketing in your title. Okay, and then the zing factor. That's something that that surprises people. That could be a conversation starter. That explains a little bit more of what you stand for. It's something to draw attention with. Let's have a look at an example. This is a headline in my profile: communication trainer, coach, and partner at Expert Academy. I included the most important keywords like trainer and coach and communication, and also my company Expert Academy. And then the zing is helping people in their professional growth. Here's another great headline from Tim Queen. He managed to get all the important keywords in the headline and make it attractive and teasing. Marketing and branding strategist, keyword speaker, YouTuber, and founder. Now, the third thing you want to do is to write a strong summary. Now, the summary is the piece of text that you can find below your title. Now, in your summary, you can, explain what your skills are, what your strengths are. For instance, if you are a salesperson or a sales manager, then you can explain in the summary how you can help other people, how you can help businesses, to grow, or what solutions you can offer to them. Also, in your summary, you can add social proof. Now, that is very, very strong. You can add links to your website, to a blog, a slide share. You can even add YouTube videos there. And it's very easy to do it, super easy. Let me show you how it works. So here is my summary. As you can see, I have a link to my webpage here and a link to a YouTube video. So when you click here, people can watch the YouTube video inside the LinkedIn application. Adding external media is super easy. Just click the pencil here to edit your profile, scroll down to the summary section, and there you have the upload buttons for files and links. So let's say we want to link to a YouTube video, just paste the link here, and as you can see, you get the preview, and you can change the title and description if you want. And that's just it. Okay, so here's an extra bonus. If you want, you can leave the link to your LinkedIn profile in the comments here below, and then I'll be happy to review it. I'll be happy to have a look at your profile and to give you some feedback and some tips on how to improve it. Just leave the link to your LinkedIn profile here below. If you like this video, just click the like button, and you can also follow us and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on future videos.
So that was just a preview on how you can be able to use that for your LinkedIn profile. I hope you got a few things picked up from that. Thank you. We'll get about a minute. Okay, I'm going to share the next part. I believe you can all see my screen. So we're going to continue. From the video, what he has explained is that for you, this is a step-by-step guide on how you're going to either make sure your LinkedIn profile or account looks professional, comes out as a real person. This means that it can be connected to you, even the name, the profile photo, the contact details that you put there, because you have to put your email address is yours. This email address also helps people to connect with you on your email. Obviously, you can choose whether or not to respond to this. So the first step is to make sure that you choose the right profile picture. From that video, we get that for you to have a right profile picture, you have to make sure it's something that presents the qualities that you want to communicate. If you're working in the arts industry, being likable and influential is more than being competent. So every time you have to make sure whichever industry you're trying to get into, whichever career path, whichever opportunity you're trying to get into, you're communicating that you can fit into that and you're suitable for it. So choose the right profile picture according to the kind of brand that you're building. Add a background photo. When I'm saying a background photo, just make sure it's something that can be a great conversation starter. Make sure it's something that someone can say, hey, I see you went, for example, on a hike on Mount Longonot, and maybe you're someone who's into agroforestry. So it's able to communicate this is what you stand for. So don't just choose anything, and also don't leave it blank. Put a good background photo along with a good profile picture where someone can see your face, someone can see it's a background that's not distracting. So something that has a plain background is really good. Anything that if you went for a job interview and they asked you, let's say for a passport photo or the one that you would use on your CV, some CV formats allow you to put a profile, sort of a passport picture. That is the one you can use for your LinkedIn. The other thing is that you need to make your headline more than just the job title. If you remember, I said a lot of the times if you leave your headline empty, LinkedIn is going to pick your last job title and put it as your headline. What you want to do is to put there more details. For example, if you're an account assistant, this is an example I'm going to apply throughout. You want to say, I help businesses I provide excellent bookkeeping services with over 2 years of experience in X and X industry. So you want to make sure your headline is more than just a job title. You're also going to have an about section, and the about section is where you're going to put this particular summary on point 4, turning your summary into a story. So instead of picking what you would put on your resume, you want to go there and make it a story. Tell people your journey. Again, the reason you're doing this is because this is a professional networking platform. This is where someone can do their research and say, we cannot miss out on this person. For example, if it was Yasmin, I think I got that name from the participants. So you want to make sure that your story there really captivates someone who has come to check out your LinkedIn profile. You want to come out as professional, you want to come out as credible, and you want to come out as someone who has a very strong brand and is influential in the industry that they are in. Buzzwords. When I say buzzwords, it's basically what particular keywords are there meant to be in your particular job title or industry. Buzzwords would look like, if you're in accounts, you want to make sure that you're putting you're putting accounting, you're putting certified, you're putting ledgers, you're putting monthly filing, you're putting reporting, you're putting financial modeling, everything that shows you are someone who is great in that particular job title or that particular industry. So when you're going to try to look for buzzwords that you will use on your LinkedIn, go ahead and type keywords, for example, accounts assistant. those keywords should reflect in the whole of your account. From the time that you're explaining, from your headline, your summary, all the way to your work experience and skills, those buzzwords should be highlighted. Obviously, don't overdo them. Just make sure that when someone is searching for, let's say, accounts, they can see accounts assistant you've appeared because you put there that you're great at accounting, you're great at financial modeling. So things that when someone searches, they can find you and be able to trace you and tell you, hey, I have an opportunity for you. I see you have this skill set or this particular interest. Joel, perhaps you could just note down the question. We're going to get into a minute where I can take a question. Unless you can't hear me. Can you hear me, Joel? I've seen you've raised your hand. Hello, Joel.
Yes, I'm getting you, madam.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. The other thing is going to be growing your network. So again, just because you have created your LinkedIn profile or you have a LinkedIn account, you put the profile picture, you have a great background photo, you have a really nice headline, and you have a nice summary that summarizes your story, and it's not boring, it's captivating. And now you have all the buzzwords and your LinkedIn is being searched. Every week you're getting 50 searches, 100 searches by amazing companies that you're also following. It doesn't mean that you do not have to be active. By being active, it means you need to grow your network. Later, we'll look into how you're going to grow your network. But the main point here is that you want to connect with people. That is the whole point you are on LinkedIn. Connecting to people would look like making sure you're sending out connection requests. We'll look at how you're going to do that. Making sure you are accepting connection requests and making sure you are following relevant groups and industries, and companies. The other thing is list your relevant skills. Again, as part of your LinkedIn profile, it will ask you to put skills. So when you're putting skills, and let's say it gives a suggestion of communication skills, if that's something that is relevant to you, maybe because you're in public relations, you should put it. But don't put things like Microsoft efficiency, Google Suite tools efficiency. Don't put things like active listening unless it is part of the kind of things that you want to be known for. LinkedIn usually has a limit. So the first 5 or the first 6, make sure you're putting the relevant skills that someone can come and endorse you. When you want to put more skills, on the summary, there's a section where you can say more skills or skills, and you list them. But when it's asking you for skills, make sure you're putting things that someone can endorse you by clicking on endorse the skill, or actually it is exactly that. If you're offering freelance services, make sure it's very clear this is what you're offering. So don't just give a whole story about what it is that you've done in school and forget that you need to tell someone, I offer bookkeeping services, I offer accounting services, or I'm this type of a solutions provider. So if you're a freelancer, even if you're employed, make sure that service is very clear on your summary, also on your headline. What do you help organizations do? What is your area of expertise? You can go ahead and search people in your industry that have already done LinkedIn profiles to give you a guideline on how it should look like. There is no problem with that. Go ahead and see what someone else has done. If you like it, you can try and emulate that into your own until you get one that really works for you. Again, for your account to be active, you want to endorse others so that they can endorse you back. So make sure that if you get a new connection, if you've worked with them, or if it's something you've noticed in their profile and you want to endorse a skill, go ahead and endorse them. And even for you, you're going to also ask people to endorse a skill, because with LinkedIn, you have to be proactive in the sense that you will have to ask someone, can you give me a recommendation? Can you give me an endorsement? Because they have worked with you and they can vouch that they have seen this skill in you. To sum it up, we have 10 steps. The first one is to upload your profile picture. Make sure it's something where someone can see your face, you're not wearing shades, it's in good lighting, you have a solid background. And if it's not solid, at least it's something that shows your face clearly. Add a background photo. It's really professional and shows you've completed your LinkedIn profile. Make sure you use a headline that's just more than a job title. Don't put something like accounts or finance or recruitment. No, you have to continue and tell someone what solution are you giving to organizations or to businesses. You want to turn your summary into your story. So instead of going to copy and paste the career objective or your career summary from your CV, you want to come and give a bit more of a story. Remember, LinkedIn is a professional networking platform. Use buzzwords. The other synonym for buzzwords is keywords. Keywords could look like, if you are in accounts, what are the key things that an accounts person should know? Make sure you have that across, like from the time you're writing your headline all the way to your skills. Those buzzwords needs to be there. Grow your network by sending out connections requests. We'll cover that shortly. Make sure you list your relevant skills so that people can endorse you. And also in your summary, make sure you list other skills that are relevant to your position or the positions you want to later apply for. Make sure you spotlight the services you offer. Even if you are an employed person, you do offer services to organizations. So consider yourself as a business or solutions provider, and spotlight, meaning make sure it's very clear what it is that you offer businesses or individuals. Spread the endorsement love, meaning you can go to someone who is a network, maybe you know them personally or you have worked with them, and endorse a skill that they have and ask them to endorse a skill that you have. Obviously, you are going to request, and if they do it all the same, that is good. Okay, sorry. So we have a poll now. Bida, perhaps you can assist me by queuing in a poll. The questions are as follows. We are wrapping up on how you are meant to set up your LinkedIn profile. And so the questions are as follows. Bida, maybe you can just queue in that poll. Thank you. We have 3 minutes for this particular poll, so go ahead and answer it. Meanwhile, I'm going to be taking questions after this poll for 2 minutes. I'm seeing a lot of you are answering. 27 out of 39. That's great participation. Please continue.
I don't hear anything. Is anybody hear anything there? I don't hear the voice.
Right now you are
I don't hear.
answering polls, so you can click on polls. On your meeting controls, you will see next to the chat button, these polls. Click on polls and answer the poll that you're currently doing. We have an extra minute to finish it up. Peter, you have a question? I hope you can see the poll. So far, everyone has answered apart from 4 people. Please go ahead. You have an extra 50 seconds to complete the poll. Great. I'm seeing majority of you got the answers correctly. Where do you use buzzwords in your LinkedIn profile? That's the headline. You want to make sure the headline has a lot of buzzwords. Keywords you can use on your skills, but on your headline is where you want to make sure you use the buzzwords. So the keywords and the buzzwords are kind of the same, but headline is where you want to use all the buzzwords. Buzzwords means you want to captivate someone. You want someone to come and look at your profile and think, wow, I want this person on my team, or I want to connect to this person. I want to learn more from them. What should be your goal when choosing a profile? So depending again on your industry, you want to make sure you use a profile picture that matches that. But the key thing, because this is a professional platform, is to show competency. Showing you're a friendly person or showing your hobbies is really not the key criteria when you're choosing a profile picture. So showing competency is important, and you want to use a lot of the buzzwords in your headline. Always make sure that it makes sense. So buzzwords would look like, if you're doing, for example, recruitment, HR advisory, payroll management, you want to put those 3 things on your headline so that when someone is searching for you, they can find you easily. The skills, again, I would use myself, I like recruitment, human resource management, but those are skills, are not on the headline particularly. So there's a thin difference, but it's still there. Okay, thank you so much for your answers. That was 99% participation. So we're going to now go into a personal elevator pitch. If you have any question and you haven't answered because of time, please just note it down. There's going to be a question and answer forum where I'll be able to address those questions. A personal elevator pitch. What is an elevator pitch and why is it important that you know what it is? So I'll start with the definition. And a personal elevator pitch is a quick summary of yourself. It's named for the amount of time it should take to deliver it, which is usually the duration of a short elevator ride, roughly 30 to 60 seconds, or at least 75 words, or less than 75 words. So a personal elevator pitch would look like if you went into a networking forum, maybe it was a student forum or a forum that you've been invited professionally, and someone says, hi, my name is Paula. You know, you're not meant to leave it at that's your name and that's it. No, you should give someone a bit of a summary about yourself. And yeah, so it helps with portraying yourself as someone who's competent, someone who's bold, someone who's confident, and also as a means of continuing the conversation. So it's not meant to be something really long. It's something you can say in 2 or 3 sentences, or even 4, and someone can know what all you're about, and they want to learn more about you. So as you can see, we have a photo of the people saying hello, hello, and they've stopped. So in a professional networking platform, you cannot just keep saying each other, hello, hello, where are you from? No, you need to communicate what are you about. So we're going to watch a small video and then you can continue from there.
So you want to learn how to create the perfect elevator pitch so that you can impress a potential employer or land a new client. In this video, you'll learn how long your elevator pitch should be and what you can say to spark interest, leaving the other person wanting to know more about you. And if you stay around until the end, you'll learn my simple formula that will save you time to create your own powerful pitch. If we've never met before, I'm Heather Austin from ProfessorAustin.com and the Career Club on Facebook. And on this channel, I teach simple solutions to help you build a business or launch a career you love. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button down below and the bell notification so you don't miss a thing. Whether you're a job seeker or an entrepreneur, having an elevator pitch is essential for your career progression. This simple yet powerful representation of who you are will give you more confidence when meeting with prospective clients, attending networking events, or job fairs. Before we jump into how to create the perfect pitch, remember that the purpose of an elevator pitch is to quickly let others know what your expertise are, what your greatest accomplishments are. It's designed to ignite a two-sided conversation. So think of it in terms of baseball. If you pitch a ball to someone, they're going to pitch it back to you. So you don't want to do all the rambling. You want to turn it into a two-sided conversation. So let's jump into it. Tip number 1, identify who you are and who you help. Start with a simple statement that quickly grabs the attention of the other person and piques their interest. Here's an example of how I would start my own elevator pitch. I am a career and business strategy coach, helping working professionals find a career that brings true happiness and fulfillment. The next step is to identify your why. To keep the other person engaged, mention why you do what you do. This will help you better explain your purpose and better clarify your passion and commitment to what you do. This will also be one of the reasons why the person you're talking to takes action in the end. So here's how I would explain this in my elevator pitch. One of my greatest passions is to provide award-winning career guidance to business professionals that want to learn top-notch job search strategies, LinkedIn tactics, interview prep skills, and even career transition approaches. Now, your elevator pitch is very similar to a professional bio. To learn more about how to write a short professional bio, I created a video that will help you do just that. I'll go ahead and link that one up below. Step number 3, explain what makes you unique. After you've mentioned who you are, who you help, and why you help them, you then want to talk about what makes you so special, what makes you different. An easy way to do this is to mention your greatest accomplishments. What are some of the largest problems you've solved or major contributions you've made? This will help keep the momentum going and will give you credibility. So here's how I would explain this in my elevator pitch. In addition to career strategy, I help my clients explore options for starting and growing a new business. I provide actionable advice to those that are striving to become entrepreneurs. Step number 4, include a call to action. Your goal at the end of your conversation should be to get the other person to take some type of action. This can be something as simple like an exchange of business cards or a request to connect on LinkedIn, or better yet, a follow-up meeting. Now, one of my favorite ways to get the other person to take action is by asking them a simple question. For example, I might say something like, is entrepreneurship something you've considered before? This will be the start of a new relationship and hopefully lead to your end goal. Step number 5, practice and revise. One of the best things you can do is to practice your elevator pitch out loud. Say it to family members, to friends, even colleagues or coworkers. And don't be afraid to change it. Your elevator pitch will go through different iterations and will change over time depending on your recent accomplishments or the problems you've solved. And remember, you don't want to ramble when it comes to your elevator pitch. You want to practice saying it within 30 seconds or less. Now, to make sure you get it right when it comes to your own elevator pitch, follow this simple formula. I am a, and then list what you are, helping, list who you help. One of my greatest passions is, and then list one of your passions here. I've been fortunate to, and then list some of the biggest problems you've solved or some of your greatest accomplishments. Have you ever, and then list the question you have to get them to take action in the end. Now, if you found this video useful, be sure to hit the like button below.
So yes, that is how we're going to go about, with coming up with an elevator pitch, which we will cover shortly. So we're going to go into how you're going to do your elevator pitch shortly. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. So when it comes to an elevator pitch, we've already covered, this is the introduction you're going to make about yourself. Apart from just a greeting like hello or hi, you want to go ahead and give a bit of a background or summary on who you are, what you do, or what are your competencies, basically. Just telling someone a bit more than a simple hello. This is going to make you appear more professional and help you build your network faster, especially because you're going to use this for LinkedIn. But also, this is something you're going to use in real life, even in interviews when someone asks you a question like, tell me about yourself. So an elevator pitch can act in the same regard. The first thing that you want to do is to start off with who you are. I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like. For example, hi, my name is Paula. I am a recruitment specialist and a career coach. And then you want to go ahead and write about what you do and how you do it. So when I write it, I'm going to say, I use my communication skills and people skills to make sure that I help organizations secure great talent that fits their business needs, for example. And then you want to go ahead and explain the results of your work and what makes you unique. So you can say through a combination of this and this skill, I'm able to secure or I'm able to onboard a new hire in a matter of 6 weeks or 4 weeks, which really saves organization this and this amount of money and time. And then you want to go and edit what you've written. So always make sure before you send out something, you read it out loud so that it makes sense to you before you send it out and you can notice typos, grammatical errors, or maybe somewhere else that you didn't really put the information that you wanted to communicate. So edit what you've written and also make sure you add a good conversation starter at the beginning. So all the time, you don't need to start with hi, hello, good morning, or any salutation. You can start with something like, congratulations on this and this, or I saw you at this and this, congratulations, or was that you? So you want to make sure a good conversation starter, maybe you went and saw their LinkedIn background photo, and you saw that people who are involved in peace initiatives, or the people who are involved in some of the work that you're interested in, or they're doing financial modeling, or they got an opportunity that you have been meaning to ask them about. So for example, we have a Jane Doe here and a William. They're both bookkeepers. So an example would be, my name is Jane Doe. I help organizations with excellent bookkeeping services. With a combination of my accounting skills and great attention to detail, I deliver exemplary accounting. Over 2 years now, I have worked with different businesses and companies. I look forward to learning from you here. Let us connect. This is on LinkedIn. If it was William, for example, he added a conversation starter. So he started, congratulations on your work anniversary. And he went ahead and said, my name is William. I help organizations with excellent bookkeeping services. With a combination of my accounting skills and great attention to detail, I deliver exemplary accounting services. Over 2 years now, I have worked with different businesses and companies, and I look forward to learning more or learning from you here. Let us connect. So there's a call to action. There's a summary of how they help organizations, or what makes them unique and what they do, and also a great conversation starter. And they also say who they are. So if you remember, start with who you are, write about what you do, how you do it. In this case, you're using accounts assistants, so they use their bookkeeping or accounting skills and another soft skill or another transferable skill like a great attention to detail. They explain the results or what makes them unique. Again, this is a connection request, so you have to make it a bit short, not too long. And then they make sure they edit this. And also a good tip is using a conversation starter at the beginning. So we're going to have a poll here. What should a good elevator pitch include? Bida, if you could help me by queuing in the poll. We're just going to use 1 minute for this. What should a good elevator pitch include? We're going to have a poll. It's going to last for 1 minute. Bida, if you could assist me with that, a poll on what a good elevator pitch should include.
Yeah, I am doing that.
Thank you. As we wait, you can just note down any questions you might have for the questions and answers forum. Go ahead and answer the poll for 1 minute, then you can go ahead and continue with the session. So the reason I kept that poll open is so that you can be able to put what you believe a good elevator pitch should include. There are 4 components: introducing who you are, what you do, what makes you unique, a good conversation starter, and so on. So if you've answered that question, that's really good. We're going to go to the next part, which is using the job section on LinkedIn. So if you have a question up to there, please feel free to note it down. You're going to address it in the question and answer forum. So now when you're using the job section on LinkedIn, aside from just applying on that particular job, you're also going to use elevator pitch to communicate with recruiters on LinkedIn. So when you're sending a connection request, and this is particularly targeted for a recruiter, you want to use your elevator pitch. So we're going to break into an exercise where we come up with an elevator pitch. But before we do that, we're going to face this tip where we say, what is a good conversation starter, or what is a conversation starter if it's not a simple hello? This could be, I saw you are looking for an accounts assistant, and then you go ahead and use your elevator pitch and make sure you add a call to action. How this would look like would be something like a candidate coming to me and saying, hi, Paula, I came across your opportunity for accounts assistant. I hope organizations with excellent bookkeeping services. I come with 2 years of work experience in agroforestry industry or in the agroforestry space. Let's connect. So when I see a job seeker has written me this, I'm going to accept the connection and continue a conversation with them with, hi, Jane, or hi, William. It's great that you reached out, and then we can continue, or this is a link to that job that you're interested in. Please go through it, apply, and let me know. So remember, use a conversation starter, add your elevator pitch, and add a call to action. Okay, so let's say this is a recruiter that is already a connection, meaning you don't have to send a connection request. When you see them, you can be able to message them directly. That is a benefit of having someone as a connection. You can see what they're posting and you can be able to message them directly. So if this person is already a connection and this person is a recruiter, you would come, for example, if you're coming to me, you'd say, hi, Paula, I came across your opportunity for accounts officer. I went through the job description and my skills and expertise are a perfect match for this role. Please see my CV attached. I would also love to discuss the role further. Here is my number. Please call me when you can. Looking forward to hearing from you. So this particular elevator pitch is going to observe professional courtesy. It's going to be optimistic, straight to the point, and you've also added a call to action for me where you've given me your number and you say you look forward to hearing from me. So you've said who you are, where you saw me, what you want from me, and you've also provided more information, and you've opened up the field for me to call you anytime by providing your contact, and you want me to reach out to you. So this is really good if a recruiter is looking to fill a role that you are qualified for, or even probably as the best match for. So we're going to break into groups of 4 where we're going to work on the elevator pitch. One volunteer, and this is going to be teamwork, is going to give a background on their expertise, and you're going to use that. So that volunteer is the one who's going to present it, and we can go through this. The situation is that particular volunteer who's presenting their skill set or their expertise is going to be approaching a recruiter on LinkedIn. So it's important that we try this out because you're going to use it later. And so don't be afraid to volunteer, or even if you're two volunteers, just work on it in 5 minutes and let's do it. So we're going to be in breakout rooms. And this exercise is going to take 5 minutes. Okay. Please join your breakout room. Room 1. I'm seeing room 3 everyone has joined. Room 3 and 4. Please go ahead and join your breakout rooms. Let's use this opportunity to practice how we will. Hello, Rajab and V. Kenny and Lobor. Could you kindly join a breakout room? Kindly join a breakout room and participate in the exercise. This is really helpful. So if you could go ahead and join a breakout room, that would be really nice. We have Rajab, Yeka, Daro, Zabir. Please join a breakout room. Yeka, please join a breakout room. Please remember we have 5 minutes. So we're going to so I'm expecting that you've already come up with a volunteer and they're going to present how they would approach a recruiter on LinkedIn using their elevator pitch, and this is group work. So we will start with room 1 in a matter of a minute. In a matter of a minute, room 1, there was Daniel, Patrick, Gatlek, Koma, Nancy, Peter, Gloria, and Reese, and also Yasmin. Room 1, do you have someone who will start? Where Yasmin is, room 1. Room 2, we had Kenny, we have Athieng, David, Awoy, and Joyce. We also had Peter Loai. Room 3, we had Isaac, Jalateng, sorry, Nason, there was Rejoice and Sharif. And room 4, we had George, Jinana, Modi, Vikidoru, and Suzanne. Please present a volunteer. It's great that I'm coming to, I want to give you feedback as a recruiter on how your elevator pitch and your approach is. So go ahead and someone to volunteer.
Okay, this room 2.
Please proceed.
This room 2, I'm representing the group. My name is Sojara Charles. This is the small presentation we have managed to come up with. Hello, recruiter. I'm Ojara Charles, a volunteer. I'm having communication skill, business developer. I have 2 years experience. This is my contact. Let's connect.
Okay. That's really good. That's really good. Thank you so much, Charles. So what I didn't get from
You're
you
welcome.
is what makes you unique. So in the next time when you're writing an elevator pitch, make sure you also address what makes you unique. Yeah. So make sure you address what makes you unique. But thank you so much, room 2. Thank you so much, Charles. Can
You
we
are
have another
welcome.
volunteer? One more. Thank you. One more. One
Hi,
more
Paula.
volunteer. Hello.
Is it from you want more volunteer from the same group, or we can go to the next group?
To the next group.
Okay. This is room 4.
Mhm.
There's a lot of background noise.
Yeah, please unmute yourself if you're not speaking. So whoever is speaking now, you can unmute yourself kindly. Just unmute yourself. Room 4, we had a volunteer. Room 4, we had a volunteer. You can raise your hand if you are struggling to unmute yourself. Suzanne, okay, Suzanne, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
I'm Susan. I'm representing group 4.
Mhm.
According to what I've heard, it's like, for example, if you come across the recruiter, for example, you can use like, I'm Susan Alfred, for example. I am an accountant. I've come through your advert, and I've worked with, for example, like J-Star Company Limited. I help them with their financials or payments, and we can link up. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you so much. One thing I've seen you have not added a conversation starter. Aside from hi, I saw your post, which can also be a conversation starter. So I believe your pitch is okay. How you've approached the recruiter is okay. You have not said what makes you unique. So maybe next time you can add what makes you unique so that this person can see that you also know your worth. It's really important that when you're approaching a recruiter, they also see that you know what you're bringing to the table, meaning you can tell what it is you can bring as a solutions provider to an organization. That's really good. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Sorry. I'm seeing Nancy has raised her hand. Nancy, do you have one more before we continue?
Yes. I'm representing group 1. Suppose the recruiter is Susan. I said, hi, Susan. My name is Nancy Kuma. I came across your IT specialist role on the LinkedIn job board. I've been an IT support assistant with various organizations for 4 years. I have great interpersonal skills, and my IT troubleshooting skills set me apart. Please see my CV attached. My professional email is kumanancy@gmail.com, and my contact is blah, blah, blah. Please contact me whenever you can.
That's really good, Nancy. I see you have met all the requirements. You've said hi, you said who you are, where you saw their post. You've also mentioned what makes you unique, what services you offer, and you've put a call to action. That's really good. Thank you so much, Nancy. Much appreciated. So we're going to go ahead to the next part. So let me just share my screen. Okay. At the end of this session, we want to make sure that you're going to be able to 1, set job alerts, 2, apply for jobs from LinkedIn and on LinkedIn. You're also going to have to make sure you are more visible to recruiters. So if you're able to make yourself more visible to recruiters, we would have considered that you have finished this or you have gotten a great takeaway from this session. So remember, we want to set job alerts, apply for jobs on LinkedIn, and make sure you're visible to recruiters. So we're going to start off with this video.
Because employers frequently use LinkedIn to screen and recruit potential candidates, more and more companies have begun posting job openings to the site. To search for jobs, click the Jobs icon. From here, you can check out openings that LinkedIn thinks you may be interested in. You can also type what you're looking for in the search box. You can then narrow down your search results by using the filters near the top of the window, such as experience level or job type. To learn more about a particular job, click its title. In addition to details like the job's location and requirements, you'll also see how many of your connections work for that particular company. If you want to apply to a job, click Apply, and you'll be taken to that company's website. Some openings also have an Easy Apply option. This allows you to apply to a job in just a few clicks by submitting the information in your LinkedIn profile. Keep in mind that if you use Easy Apply, we still recommend writing a personalized cover letter with every application you send. You can also set up preferences for your job search through the Career Interests function. From your profile, scroll down until you find your dashboard, then click Career Interests. This lets you save preferences for the type of job you're looking for, including location, company size, and industry. LinkedIn will then start giving you relevant recommendations and search results. We suggest using Career Interests so you'll have a better chance of seeing jobs you may actually want.
Okay, and so that's how you're going to use the job section to apply for jobs on LinkedIn. So I'm going to just present my screen again. So from the video, we gather that there is a job section on your LinkedIn. If you already have a LinkedIn profile or account, you can see that icon when you open up your account. It's usually like a small briefcase icon written jobs, as you can see here. And also, if you click on that particular icon on your LinkedIn, it will allow you to come to the job section, which usually has a lot of jobs depending on how you have set up the particular filters. The other thing you can be able to do is to set job alerts. So these job alerts are based on what you will search when you're looking for opportunities. So these opportunities would look like, from your examples, it could be volunteer. These are like maybe for NGO jobs. It could be IT specialist. It could be accounts assistant, or it could be accounts officer or recruitment specialist, as an example. So when you're looking for the different jobs, when you type it there, you can come there and say you want set job alert on. Do you see where it says job alert? There's a button for off and on. If it's in blue, it means you have set that job alert to be on. So when you're looking for a job, you go and search their accounts assistant, and it will ask you, do you want to set the job alert for this one? You will say on, meaning any jobs on that particular job title or experience level are all going to be coming to you. When you're applying for jobs on LinkedIn, remember, we have already set up our LinkedIn profile. It's looking amazing. Our work experience, our about, headline, everything is perfect. Not exactly perfect, but you've already worked on it and it's impressionable, meaning someone would want to work with you after looking at it. There are two ways when you're applying for jobs, you can do it on LinkedIn. We have Easy Apply, meaning it's going to send your LinkedIn profile as a resume to the particular employer. There's also, it can be Apply, meaning the employer has put there a link for you to go and view an application form and be able to submit your application. So it could be Easy Apply, which is done through LinkedIn, or it could be Apply, which leads you to another place where you can submit your application. So you should be ready for both. From the video, we've already established it's important that you make sure you also send a personalized message. This could look like a cover letter, or just a way for you to show that you took the extra effort to introduce who you are. You could use your elevator pitch, but that's really short. So you want to make sure you use something of the length like a cover letter. We covered that in the other session that we did on cover letter and CV writing. So here, you're going to search for the job. You will set a job alert. You will go ahead and use any filters. Maybe it's a job location or whichever other thing you want to use, just to make sure the postings you're looking at will be things that you are qualified, will be the roles that you want, and the location is also somewhere where you are eligible to work. So again, I mentioned LinkedIn does not have a global restriction. Just because I'm applying, let's say from Nairobi, it doesn't mean that I will not have access to job posts from Australia or Canada or even Egypt. All of them will come to me. I'm the one who will choose whether or not I can apply there, if I have a work permit, and so on. So you will have access to everything. Just make sure you are eligible, because again, you want to make sure you are positioning yourself for the opportunities that you want and are good for you. So we have other tips that will make you more visible to recruiters when you're doing your job searching. When you're doing your job searching, you want to make sure when you're turning on, you saw on your profile, there's going to be a turn on open for work button. When you turn on that open for work, especially when you start applying for jobs, LinkedIn is going to prompt you and ask you, are you open to work and which roles do you want to apply for? So make sure you turn that on to give your profile picture on LinkedIn a green halo light so that recruiters can be able to know you're open to work. Recruiters usually have a purple halo light around their profile picture to show that they're looking to hire. You also want to make sure you have updated your LinkedIn. If you start a new job, make sure you also put on your LinkedIn you've started a new job. If you get a new accomplishment on the sort of project or work that you're on, make sure you update your LinkedIn so that it's always relevant and updated. Again, you want to always observe professional courtesy. Just because it's online, you cannot see this person, it does not mean that you should now go there and tarnish your brand. Remember, you're showing the world how they're meant to perceive you. So always observe professional courtesy in your interactions and referrals. Again, you want to make sure you ask for an introduction. Like, for example, when you're doing a job search and you notice someone who is working in the accounts department, you can go there and say, hey, I saw your organization is looking for an accounts assistant. I see you are an a senior accounts officer there. Is it possible if we could connect so that you could tell me more about this role? Or could you introduce me to the HR? Or could you let the HR know that I've applied for this role? So you're simply asking them to keep an eye out for you, but not in a way that it's coming off as being sketchy or you're asking for anything in return. Just make sure it's very professional in the sense that you're showing you are interested and you actually took the extra effort to go and check them out. Sometimes you want to go the extra mile when it comes to actively job searching on LinkedIn. So we've already established that on LinkedIn, we had a job section. You've already updated your profile. Everything is good. But going the extra mile is going to put you at a better position. What this looks like is that you're going to be leaving comments on people's posts. For example, if someone you're following or is a connection posts a picture of they've started a new role somewhere, you want to say congratulations. Or if they report a post that is insightful, you want to put a comment saying really insightful. I found this to be educative or informative. So you want to make sure you leave comments on your connections post, and also go ahead if they're not a connection and add them as a connection and tell them you would like to learn more from them or engage with them further in a professional capacity. The other thing is that you want to make sure you follow relevant influencers for your industry. For example, if you are in talent management or HR, you're going to follow people who are influencers in the HR industry. If you are an IT, a programmer, or ICT officer, you want to follow people who are in that particular industry. You're not just going to follow everyone who is a CEO, everyone who is a manager. No, you want to follow people who are in your industry and are influencers, not necessarily founders or owners, but people who are relevant. Maybe they post useful, educative comments. They're in the authority in their industry. Make sure you follow them. And also, if you want, you can go ahead and request for a connection. We also have the customizing your URL. This is already on your profile when you're setting it up. Customizing would look like, instead for LinkedIn to put for you there, http LinkedIn and a lot of numbers, you can go there and say, for example, IT specialists in Sudan, for example. The other thing is you want to keep your page active. So when you're keeping your page active means you're regularly using your LinkedIn to like, comment, endorse other people, to share posts yourself. That is how you keep your page active. Always keep your page active. The other thing is going ahead to ask for recommendation or endorsements. So every time you're in a professional capacity with someone who knows you and knows your work, and they're on LinkedIn, you can ask them, hey, could you kindly endorse me for this activity or recommend me for this? Again, remember, you also have to do the same. So it's not one-sided. It's not meant for only them to be the ones who are doing it. Also for you, you need to endorse others. We also have to customize your invites. So make sure you customize your invites by using your elevator pitch. Don't say, hi, I saw this job post and I see you hiring for this job post. Let's connect. No, you want to make it personal. For this person, you don't just put a hey, put hi with the person's name so that they see you actually took the extra effort to put their name. It's really important that you do that. It's the small things that are really going to get you far. We also have make regular improvements. So for example, if the profile photo that you started with was from 5 years ago, you can make the effort of changing to the recently updated one that also looks professional, as well as your background photo. You want to make sure that you're editing your accomplishments to meet the lingo of the industry you're now in, if that's a thing that you would like to do as well. Lastly, you want to grow your network. If you are from a school and there's alumni in that on LinkedIn, that LinkedIn usually shows you under connections, this person attended this school that you also went to. So you can use that opportunity also as a conversation starter. Hey, I saw you went to this university. I'm also from that university. It would be great if we could connect. I look forward to learning more from you. So make sure you also grow your network using the alumni you're associated with, your college, university, or even all the way back if LinkedIn gets to show you that. So now I'm going to take up your questions and answers. Questions, please go ahead and ask me any questions you might have.
Yes, Ojara, I see a hand from Ojara.
Yes, thank you. I need Madam Paula to clarify for me more on the recommendation and endorsement. Does it mean in terms of the recommendation in terms of writing, or it's like verbal recommendation? Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Okay,
when
noted. And
okay, so endorsements on LinkedIn look like you've already listed a skill that you have. Let's say it is project management, or it could be programming in Java language, for example. You want to make sure you put that there, Java or PHP or communication skills or public relations. You've already said that is a skill that you possess. So when someone comes to your profile, they usually have an option under that skill to endorse a skill. So when you do it for other people, you'll notice that they'll come to your profile and also want to endorse a skill that they've seen you have. So that is endorsements. When it comes to recommendation, this person needs to have worked with you in a capacity that they can actually give a real recommendation. And LinkedIn also allows for them to put a recommendation. So like recommend, for example, recommend Paula, it will have that place for a recommendation. So before someone sends a recommendation for you, maybe they reach out to you or you reach out to them requesting, make sure they put you in a light that is professionally acceptable, so to speak. So you can also help them in writing your recommendation. If it's someone who's a senior manager, already you've worked with them before, then you shouldn't have a problem because they'll know how to do a recommendation for you on LinkedIn. Yes, I'm seeing we have 5 other people who have raised their questions.
maybe Dew can go. Dew.
Thank you so much for having us today on this session. My question is one. I have one question.
Okay.
So, like, you know, let me begin with my question. How safe is our how safe is the personal information on our LinkedIn profiles protected from identity theft or cyber crimes?
So LinkedIn is it's an online platform, so they already have their own security measures. But the thing with such online platforms is that if someone chooses to clone who you are, then that's unfortunate. But ideally, you're not going to put there where you live. You're not going to put their really personal information. You're going to put their professional information. So also make sure that you don't mention, for example, sorry? Okay. So just make sure that you don't put their very personal information, but if someone chooses to impersonate you, you can always report that account. So if there's nothing you can do about it in terms of safeguarding someone not impersonating you, but you can always verify that that is you based on when someone reaches out to you on email. So again, this is a platform where researchers will do a background check. So if someone is lying and they come and they're not who you are, that's a loss on them and not on you. Yeah, have we answered your question?
Yes, my question is answered. Thank you so much.
Okay. So the next one, Waran, John, maybe you can go ahead.
Yes, thank you for giving me the time. I'm happy to be part of this training. The training is so important and valuable. And my question is, I joined this training yesterday, and my question is like, was it the first day that the training started yesterday, or it has started some days back? And if it has started some days back, could it be that those who have just joined, they will be also in position to benefit what has been given to the previous people who had the training, or the material are the same, just for only 2 days? Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, John. I'll let Bida answer that question on where you can be able to get the recorded sessions.
Okay, this training is just for 2 days. It started yesterday and it's ending today.
Okay.
Well copied. Thank you.
Thank you. Yasmin? Go ahead and ask your question.
Good afternoon, everyone, once again. Okay, thank you for giving me this. Well, my question, what are the things that we can post and some of them that we cannot post in app? That's the thing I felt.
You're breaking, maybe you can repeat.
Okay, I was like, what are some of the things that I can be able to post on the LinkedIn app, so on my profile actually, in case if I have it, and some of the things that cannot be.
Okay, so you're asking what you can post on your LinkedIn in terms of posts, or how to set up your profile?
Oh, the post alone.
Okay, so for the posts, you can set up things that are relevant to your industry. For example, this could be posts on how you have noticed, maybe how you can do your accounting, common accounting mistakes, just as an example. So you can post things that are relevant to your industry. Maybe if you want to inform, so this comes to how you want to manage your social media. And this one is going to be in a professional light. like what do you want to show what do you want your brand to be associated with? If you want to be educative, informative, insightful, if you want to crack a few jokes that obviously are professionally acceptable so that you can build on your engagement and make yourself more visible. If you feel like you do not have such content as of yet, you can work on comments on other people's posts. Like if someone posts something on accounting, an influencer that you admire, maybe principles that people neglect, and you find that insightful, you can reshare that and that will be a post. You can also leave a comment where you say, this is really great, especially this and this. So that is also a way to make sure that you are active on the same. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Jinana, please go ahead. Jinana, please go ahead.
Thank you so. Yeah, thank you so much once again.
Welcome.
For giving me this opportunity. And in fact, I'm so glad to have this training for the first time for me since yesterday. And I wish if there could be some refresher training to enlighten what we're supposed to do as the job seekers, students as well. My biggest concern and my question is, after this training, what is the impact from you people to those that have acquired this training? I'm looking at the future perspective. Two, will there be any other training that will again maybe be as an addition to what has been done today? Because the 2 days training is really very important and that needs a lot of time, which can make one to emphasize, like more especially when someone is trying to apply, how can someone get into the LinkedIn? So all those processes need some time and days. So as you as an organization, what possibility do you put in place for such an event? Thank you so much. And I had a lot of questions, but due to the time, let me end here and say thank you once again for the training of today. I really enjoyed today, though some network interference, and I hope next time it will be perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jinana. We have taken note of that. Bida has already taken note of that. Just to answer the first question on what this would help you with, it's meant to help you in positioning yourself for success as a job seeker, meaning you are already in the job market, either as a student or you're already employed or you're self-employed. This kind of skills will really help you in building your professional brand, building your network, positioning yourself for success. And this means that you're going to be in a position to get the opportunities that you want, which will help you career-wise, financially, obviously for the compensation bit, and so much more. I'll let Bida address the rest in a while. Right now, we're just going to move on to Samuel. Then I believe Salah will be our last person will take a question from. Go ahead and ask Joel.
Joel.
Yes, Joel.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I have one concern and I have also a question. One, I'm requesting to Emmanuel Bida, let him really help us in the issue of the network. Like during the process of registration, we can give the number phone that we are going to use so that he actually consult MTN, and then you have that consideration that those numbers are being put in a good line. And then two, the second concern is we need more refresher trainings. Like me, I missed the group as Madam was struggling letting me join the group. I cannot able to join because my network breakdown, and then I have to struggle and actually I did not participate in the group. My question is that I've noted is what is the difference between the headlines and the job title? I have not picked another information. I mean, I have more knowledge on that. Then maybe in also writing Endeavor. Endeavor is actually, I also missed the exercise, and again, I did not catch up with the knowledge. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you so much. I believe Vida has taken note of that. So we are going to take one more from Hala.
Hello. Yes, madam. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my question is I'm really concerned about the safety and security of our data in terms of this LinkedIn. What is the safety of our data which we're going to post there in case we have it there?
So when it comes to connecting with individuals professionally online, always make sure that you do not share sensitive information that would put you at jeopardy. You cannot control if someone can clone your data, that is correct, but just make sure that you do not expose yourself to the point that you are exposing too sensitive of information of yourself online. That's something you obviously have to do in this day and era, because social platforms are there for people to connect. But how you present yourself, it's the same way when you're sharing a resume to an organization. So you want to make sure what you would be comfortable revealing to someone who would offer you a job is what you are revealing on LinkedIn. Anything else, you want to make sure you don't reveal too much, even to a connection. Yeah.
Okay, please. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Samuel, go ahead.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I just wanted to inquire. I have an account in a LinkedIn, and then sometime back they told me to pay. I don't know. Is it like that, or it is my own making? I have dialed, maybe gone astray.
Sometimes
Yeah.
LinkedIn will ask you to pay for a premium account, meaning you can, the free account has limited features, meaning you can send like 60 connection requests per day. You can only view some certain profiles and not others. But just with the basic plan, it's actually very much possible for you to have a very active and professional network from it. So you do not need to pay unless you need the premium profile. So premium profile are usually for directors, senior level, or recruiters who need to connect with a lot of people on a daily basis. So that one is for if you want to, but otherwise the free plan works well. Last one, James, please go ahead, and then we will end the session. James, please go ahead. Okay, I'm seeing Charles is also asking. Maybe we'll take a question from Charles, and then that would be it.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good
In South
afternoon.
Sudan, and good afternoon in Kenya still. I think this is done, but it's a concern to the whole concerning the network. I think this when you are calling, you should not put on the video, because the video take a lot of bundle. This is one. For any person who is joining such a presentation or class on Zoom or on Google Meet, unless you are in a place whereby the network is extremely good, maybe in the other developed country or developing countries, but not like South Sudan. Maybe Kenya, they have got a very good internet, and Uganda is also following, to mention few. My concern, this one goes to Excellence Foundation South Sudan. I wish such training could goes for a period of 1 month or 2 months. It could be very good, because I'm seeing the topic, actually they are good, but it's short period. If they could put this also under consideration, it could be very good. This was the concern I wanted to add. I know we are already past the time. Thank you.
Thank Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much all for your questions, for being such an engaging and interactive audience. I hope you actually take the lessons from this session to heart and you go ahead and apply them on your LinkedIn job search, on your LinkedIn profile. Make sure that you do that. That's how you stand to gain, by actually practicing and putting yourself out there. Thank you so much, Bida, for facilitating this. I am part of EDAS, and I'm going to let Silas finish us up with a few words before we can end the session.
Thank you so much, Paula, for the amazing presentation. I have learned quite a lot on how to navigate through LinkedIn, how to create an account, update our profile, and even use LinkedIn for job search. And LinkedIn is a powerful network, especially for professionals, as opposed to WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, and the rest, where we join to have some good time. We can actually use LinkedIn to grow professionally, to connect with others, to find opportunities, and to do amazing things, even growing your business, especially if it's a professional business. So I hope we've all gotten an understanding of how to open an account and even how to operate a LinkedIn account. On the safety of your data, I've seen quite a number of you asking about the same. I've posted 2 links. One is for the privacy policy, and then the other one is a blog on privacy by LinkedIn. So of course it's a lengthy post, but you can take your time. It's on the chat box. You can take your time, go through the same, and know what LinkedIn says concerning your data as a professional. But just as Paula said, remember, even as you share your data, be mindful of what you share. You don't have to share everything, only share what is necessary. Yes, so thank you so much. On behalf of EDAS Consulting, my name is Silas Magawi. I was with us yesterday as I took us through the career gaps and career shifts. We had earlier on trained another group on CV writing, cover letter, setting personal goals, interview preparation, which was a good one. And we are available. You can reach out to us even beyond this training. You can reach out to us on WhatsApp, on email. You can reach out to us with any question on career management. That is what we deal with largely. So we'll help you answer questions about your career, about choosing a career, and all those questions that you have with regards to our career. Somebody can mute. Yeah, all those questions that you have with regards to our career, you can reach out to us. We'll be able to assist you in those areas that we practice. So those are our contact details. I've shared them on the screen, so you can reach us on those platforms and on those contacts, and we'll be able to assist you. Lastly, we'll have an evaluation link. Please, we really encourage our participants to give us feedback so that we can be able to improve on our trainings. Someone is asking whether we can repeat the training on CV and cover letter writing. I will pick up this discussion with Bida outside this program. Communicate. We are to share with you the WhatsApp group and take some issue give feedback on that you help us.
Silas, I feel like you're breaking. Perhaps it's an issue. I don't know if everyone is facing the same.
Yeah, sure. It looks like it has connectivity issues.
Sorry, I think I was disconnected at some point. Am I clear now?
Yes.
Oh, clear.
Great. Yeah, I was just emphasizing and encouraging all the participants that this is an amazing opportunity that we should not take for granted. So whenever you get such an opportunity to grow your career, to develop yourself, please embrace it and understand that it is such a great opportunity that you are having that many people would have wished to have but are not able to have. So this is a great opportunity. Thank you, BIDA. Thank you, EFSS. And from EDAS Consulting, we say, be blessed, everyone. Over to you, BIDA.